Yo, today on Dream Rich TV, I've been blessed to sit down with my brother, Butter the Preacher. Mr. Butter the Preacher, how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. What's going on, Dream Rich TV, man? Great
blessed.
host, my brother.
Blessed, man. We go way back. I'm gonna talk about the first time I really sat down with you on an intimate level.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk about how I seen you really create your own street team as an artist and really had the posters and really had the t-shirts out here and things like that. Like, I really seen you do all of those things from an artist standpoint. But we're gonna start from the beginning.
Let's go.
How old are you?
31.
31. See, you have 4 brothers. Are those your only siblings?
I got sisters on my father's side, 2 of them.
Okay.
Yep.
What it's like growing up in the house with all boys?
Man, it's like gladiator school. You know, it's a privilege too at the same time. A lot of men don't have the luxury of growing up around other men, with other kids coming up. Some might be the only child grow up with the mother. So I got the chance, to learn some things, some mistakes from other men early. And it's good to have that friend. That's your first best friend too.
Yep.
It's good to have somebody close to you at a young age, somebody you can go through the fire with and growing up with. But growing up with brothers, man, 4 brothers, it's a gift. It's a gift from God to even have the opportunity, to share that love, the same bloodline, you know what I'm saying? Same DNA, same likings. You learn stuff from one another. You got a partner. It's nothing like marriage, man. It's like a marriage.
Yep.
It's just different. You got a lifetime partner and a protector, and you're a protector as well. So growing up with brothers, man, it's a privilege, bro.
So you the second oldest?
Second oldest.
Okay, so how old are you and how much is the gap between the gaps?
Everybody like a 2-3 year gap apart.
Okay.
My little baby brothers, they 1 year apart.
Got you.
Me and my oldest brother, we 2.5, 3 years apart.
Got you.
I'm like 3 years older than the one that's under me, the 2 that's under me, 3-4 years older than both of them. So I'm right in the middle. So about 3-4 year span with everybody.
With everybody.
Yeah.
That's life. Okay, so you grew up in Gary, around the 5th Avenue area.
Yep.
What was those early walks like? Like, cause I remember growing up around the same time, and we would walk to Save More with the books of food stamps, and we would take them walks and see the alleys and see the loose dogs everywhere we went. What was them? You understand? I'm from here, baby.
Yeah.
What was them walks like for you?
Man, with us, we had bad behavior, man. So we knew, we was aware that the streets was bad, but not to the degree how the older folks knew. It ain't like we was out here shooting folks or robbing folks. We was 19 years old. So it was actually, to be honest with you, man, it sounds crazy. It was entertaining to us. We got a thrill from getting chased by dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That stuff, we couldn't wait till it get nighttime. So we called it back then Negro knocking. They know the real word.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot of that.
Yeah, so
I promise I did.
I mean, we love when the streets get dark, man. And we enjoyed it, but as you got older, of course, we got to, seeing like, okay, it's a little, dangerous out here.
That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah.
Like, what age was you when you seen? Now, I remember in the interview you talked about how you had a friend who had a father that would be present in his life.
Yeah.
So that showed you what good was and things of that nature.
Absolutely, showed what a man was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when did you how old was you when you started to know that's good and that's bad?
Probably like, I'd say about 11 to 12. I was mature at a very young age. So I say, when I got in middle school, a guy I went to school with got killed, murdered, man.
Middle school?
Yeah, he got killed. We was in middle school, and I'm like, man, he in my grade. What did he do so bad that made somebody want to take his life? He got a whole life to live. He hadn't even got hair on his chest.
Middle school.
Ain't even So around 11 to 12, I was real observation. I was listening to grown folks' conversations, hearing about the stuff that was in the streets. A lot of it, older guys that got respect in the streets that's going on, like the OGs. I never met a lot of them guys, but I was hearing about, oh, he got killed, or don't go down to Burger King on 5th Avenue, somebody got killed. So at 8 years old, you hear this one after the other.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
But at 12, you like, hold on, I play at that court now all the time.
Yep.
Dang, should I really go hoop tonight? At 9 to 10, it was fun to do it. I don't think I should go to the courts today.
Yes, sir.
Just because I feel like it's some tension out there somewhere.
And you're starting to recognize the people dying and the people killed.
Absolutely. So it's different when you know people that's leaving that you know. And around that 11 to 12 period, man, when I was growing into a teenager, I said, man, it's real out here. Yeah.
11, 12. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to.
Yeah.
I feel like to be aware is to be alive sometimes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get back to that later. Okay, you from one of the roughest areas. What was the signs of good and wrong? I got that. Okay, now here we go. 12, 13, but you was around. It was Vice Lord Central.
Oh yeah.
It was GD Crazy. It was. I believe this is around the time a lot of those gangs from over there started to migrate over to Indiana to Gary and things of that nature. And they was really having chiefs out here and all of that. Live and die in GI times, all of that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What was that? Because Fifth Avenue was red like a motherfucker. Excuse my language, but it was extremely red.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But I seen people like man, what was it like, man? I seen all kinds. What you seen?
I mean, like I was saying, as I got older, you start to see the handshakes. What is that? What's that?
There you go.
I look nice. It's me and my brothers in the house playing with them.
Yep.
Some of them just didn't feel right to me.
Yep.
Turned my hat a certain way. I wanted to the left, I wanted to the right.
Right.
I want to wear a bandana. Because you see this now, but you don't necessarily know what it is to a certain degree. You know it's a gang.
Yes, sir.
You know it's a GD folks. You know it's a Vice Lord. And then you in the middle of that trying to find yourself, well, what fits me? Because I feel like I got to choose a side. Well, you really don't have to, but you feel like the majority of the crowd that you around is either a Vice Lord. So it's like I go to school with these guys as GDs. My neighborhood is primarily Vice Lords. So I got to figure out what side I'm going to struggle with. Then you get older, you understand the principles of certain things too. Like I understand I got initiated.
There you go.
14 years old. And one, because my neighborhood was primarily Vice Lords, it was just the brotherhood these guys had. My principles was different, you know?
The ones you looked up to is the ones who...
Definitely, yeah. The guys I looked up to. I see how they care for each other, protecting one another.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like a brotherhood. And it was like a union. I said, I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about gang banging because that guy got on a blue shirt or something like that. It was the principles that they had, you know, with Peep Truce and everything else that they got. So, just by knowing their principles, man, and knowing what they were standing on, it was like only right for me to engage into that. I felt at that time it's right for me to engage into it, which was a silly decision. But you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you could be a part of something. It might not be a gang, but you'll be a part of something.
Yes,
sir. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of congregation, church, or whatever. But, yeah, man, so down in that area, it's like you couldn't come down Fifth without having on red and black almost at the time. You couldn't have your hat cocked to the right. You wouldn't dare walk in McDonald's at the basketball course of Burger King with your hat banged to the right, talking about you GD folks. Man, they'll kill you down there behind that.
Now, I'm not asking these questions to glorify, but we have to understand the story of Butter the Preacher. You feel what I'm saying? This ain't about the man. This ain't about that. We just telling our truth.
This honest God truth. They couldn't do that. And guys who watching this from that era know that you couldn't do that. In the certain places you couldn't go that was GD folks where you couldn't do that. So when nobody more superior than the other, it just whatever that neighborhood was, they tried to protect the grounds with that affiliation.
So it was more of a respectful movement.
There you
go. You got to move around respectable.
There you go.
Just to be alive. Around those times for sure, because I hear stories about Gary in those times, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was on the outskirts. My mom was trying to take me to Maryville and take me over here and take me over here just to keep me away from it. But my family was already invested in everything in Gary, so I knew about a lot of stuff. And so who were some of those? So who were some of the street influences, if you can say them?
One of my neighborhood man, Miles, they call him Mac Nano. And God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
He man, he was a good influence at the time. He used to
give me good and bad influences at this time. At this time when you just got initiated, cool. But you also see good influences as you do this. It could be the policeman, Vic, that's from the neighborhood who always checked on the kids. And it could also be Lil Leroy, who was always busting his gun. That was influential too. So give me good and bad.
I don't want to say names who was bad influences.
There you go.
But I had some close people that was telling me that was older as well on the same street that I respected, but it was a bad influence and a bad impression on the child. It's things I should have been introduced to. And rest some of they sold because something I'm even going on. And they was also bad influencing on things that they taught, things that they wanted to show. and that they thought that was survival. That it would help you down the line in life. Not knowing I could have been something other than a gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But it's all they seen. That's all they grew up on. So that's all they knew. And only thing you can teach is what you know.
And you can't fault them, can you?
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
Because you only can teach what you know and
I
what you
agree.
seen. And just me being a minister now, the man of God, just knowing that, and that was all they was exposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it was good and bad influences. At an early age, man, with smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, all that stuff, man. I was doing that stuff before I was 15, 16 years old.
So I know that you grew up at grandma's house.
Yeah.
So we just moving a little through. So those hard times living at grandma's house.
Yeah.
What did those do for you? What did those hard times do for you growing up? And what do they do for you now?
It's a blessing because I grew up on love and survival. Some people only have the luxury of growing up on either one or two. Either love or just survival.
Very true.
I had both. My grandma had to provide for, you know what I'm saying, more than enough. With just a little bit. And she always stretched everything. So I tell people I never experienced the degree of the struggle as some people really did. Because my grandma dolled up so good. There's so much love. At the same time, she told me how to survive and make something out of nothing. Even if it was just spreading the meal out.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before
My favorite French fries is homemade French fries from my grandmother.
Oh yeah, my grandma's homemade French fries.
You feel what I'm saying?
We
That
wasn't
type
even
of
getting the
shit.
fries. We wasn't even getting the frozen fries, man. We had the real greens.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, we was raking. I'm talking about the hustle side of it. So I hustled so hard. She was doing rooming sales. Remember yard sales? Take all the stuff outside, put it on the table that we don't need anymore,
Okay.
and sell it to everybody in the neighborhood.
Okay. Come on now,
Mother,
mother.
this to make some money.
Yeah.
And that's something she showed me. So growing up now I got businesses. You know, now I'm focused in real estate. I got barbershops.
Yes, sir.
Investing in restaurants.
Yes, sir.
You know, so my clothing line. You know, a lot of things, man. A lot of different avenues where I'm putting money from now.
Yes, sir.
And it's off just that investment what I seen in the front yard.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the rooming sales and the yard sales stick with me to this day.
So you know I ask the best questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know, because sometimes people don't understand where these things be coming from.
Yeah.
You might just think a person, excuse me, you would think a person is just a hustler or whatever, but you know, little things like grandma, we just use that. Yeah, baby, but it's done. I'm about to clean it up and get rid of it. Everything must go. You know, I got the title, it must go. That hustle and all those things, they come from some places.
Yeah, they come from somewhere, man.
That's why I asked you them hard times at grandma's house, like how does that help you today? Okay. I apologize. That ain't the call I need right now anyway. So we talked about your friend with the father.
Yeah.
So was your father prevalent around?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He stopped by like once or twice.
Do you have a relationship with him today?
Yeah, we got a relationship today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you fault him for those times?
No, I don't.
Now you don't?
No, I don't.
Growing up you did?
Yeah, growing up I did.
Yes, sir.
You can't always use somebody else failures or downfalls or mistakes or insufficiencies to be a reason why you lack in certain areas.
Yes, sir.
It's like me saying I'm a bad parent. I don't want to raise my son because my father didn't raise me.
Yes, sir.
You know, you can't choose what you're born in, but you're responsible for what you stay in.
Yes, sir.
So I don't follow him, man, because I don't know his situation at that time. I don't know the reason why he did what he did, but it could be God's ways of also putting something together divinely for me, because his ways probably would have been a stumbling block in my life.
100%.
So I count it all joy now.
So just going back, this is my last one, going back to the gang thing, do you think it was a search for maybe that
It was a search
void?
for it was a search for the void of the father.
Yeah.
It was a search for the void of security, and it was a search for the void of self-confidence.
I agree.
And
Because I was there too.
yeah, and just being a follower and just, you know,
All of that.
yeah. So it was a multiplicity of things that was going on there, man. As a little child.
Okay. So your grandmother's love and her prayer has done what for you today? Because you know people say stuff like somebody been praying for you, but when I say somebody been praying for you, boy,
Yeah.
you understand? So what that love and prayer mean to you today?
Man, my grandma prayers, I know for a fact, man, that's helped me through some stuff. A righteous woman, man, fearless woman of God. It's very essential. Prayer is essential. You need prayer.
100%.
Especially those who don't know how to pray.
Yes, sir.
And don't know what to pray for. And when you got a praying grandmother, man, she filling the gaps.
Yes,
she
sir.
interceding on your behalf, you know. And she going in and she intercedes, she an intercessor. And she 80 years old, 88 years old. I mean, she been walking with God for a long time.
Yes, sir.
So they got a relationship. That's why I want praying for me. I had one of the mothers at the church told me today, I'm praying for me. It just warmed my heart.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, sir.
I'm happy to have you praying for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm mad at nobody, but we got the mothers praying for you. The grandma praying for you. Don't take, hey.
You know that prayer gonna get
And those who watching, man, don't take it for granted. Your grandma, a God-fearing woman, call her right now and say, Grandma, I just want you praying for me.
100%, dude.
It be one day you wish you could hear her voice.
Yep, because that's how my wife is. My wife, her family is so prayer driven like it.
Yeah.
Her whole family is prayer driven. I love it though. Because I love the woman that I have. She's an amazing woman.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you the truth. When I turn 80 and I can't wipe myself, my wife will wipe me. And that's why I'm married her. Because I know she'll do it.
Yes,
you understand what I'm saying? She going to do it. Watch out. Let me get my baby together.
Yeah, yeah.
Only woman that love me like my mama. You understand? On a real level. So here we go. But also off of what you just said about grandma, I don't know if you know what you said in your interview, but listen, brother. You said you learned how to pray during a storm.
Yes, sir.
You learn how to pray during a storm.
Ain't that something? During a storm.
That's amazing, dude.
It wasn't a good day. It was a stormy day.
But it kind of prepares you for the life you was about to have.
Oh, man, that's good.
You understand? Yeah. So when I heard it, I'm like, this man learned how to pray during a storm.
The storm will teach you some stuff. The storm will produce some things out of you. If it never would have stormed, I never would have knew how to pray at that time. That's something.
It couldn't have been no sunny day when you learned how to pray, bro. Because you didn't have that life.
You didn't have to.
You had a stormy life ahead of you. Come on, King!
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
I just got chill bumps off of that one, bro. Telling you, man, you learn how to pray on a stormy day during a rainstorm, and to have the life that you had, and to come out of it, to shining the way you are, brother.
Yeah.
I believe you learn how to pray during that that rainstorm for a reason.
Yes, God.
Okay, so what does the age 13 mean to you? The number 13, age 13, what that mean to you?
Open-minded.
Okay.
My mind came open to some stuff.
Okay.
Curiosity. That's the age I was curious, open-minded. And on a quest, man. So I wasn't a normal 13-year-old kid. I was playing this games and everything like that, but my thought process was different. But I never knew how to express it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to put it in words then.
Yeah.
I wasn't real vocal. I wasn't even real vocal like that. You know, we played, laughed, and joked, but I wasn't the type to express myself in words to tell people how I feel, because I didn't know how I feel means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I showed it another way.
Did rap help you do that?
Yeah, rap helped me do it. When I got like 15, 16, rap helped me out a lot.
Okay.
It was able to express some stuff.
So around that time, the Mud and Jeffs, your brother CP, was all of that rapping going on then? Was that part of your influence?
Yep. It was a good influence. Thug Dog was a good influence.
Okay.
My brother CP, he was a good influence. Matter of fact, man, he the one that got me doing freestyles and freestyle battling cats, man. He used to call me out, so I got my little brother. He'll battle. You always real good at freestyling.
CP, your older or younger brother?
My oldest brother.
He's your oldest brother?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep. So, yeah, man. So they was some good influences. I had the Grind family, you know, other guys that was coming up, but definitely like Thugged Out and the
CCA.
Yeah, CCA
was they around?
Yep, CCA. They was they was good. They was a good influence on me as well too.
Okay, so my whole life, my mama told me, son, self-preservation, first law of nature. What that self-preservation mean to you?
Be vigilant, man. Be vigilant, and we got to know how to have a self-assessment.
That's tough.
Like assess yourself.
That's like check yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and self-assessment. What is it that you want? You get to a certain age, you think about what everybody else want. What pleases them? If I say this, what they like me? If I say this, what they work with me? If I do this, can I get paid for this?
Go ahead.
Do what you want to do with dignity and character. Because I believe a peace of mind is more important than anything.
I agree.
If I didn't do it and have a peace of mind about doing it, I don't want to do it. If I can't sleep at night, if it's going to bother me when I wake up,
right?
It's going to bother me when I walk in my house, it's going to bother me when I go to sleep or go to work, I can't do it. And And that's what that means to me, man. You got to really observe yourself, man. Have an assessment and sit down and look deep within yourself.
Preach. You said to the young guy who's trying to figure his way out, one of the dopest things I heard you say was pick up something.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do now. But to be honest with you, bro, I believe if you're not a man that is a preacher or promotes the church, I believe as an older male, you must kick game to the younger guys in your neighborhood and the people who look like you and the guys coming up after you. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I also believe if you go by the 10 steps, the 10 commandments, even if you don't believe in church, you'll have a great life. Mm-hmm. My beliefs. You understand what I'm saying? But when you tell these kids to pick up something, bro, when I say that was amazing to hear, because most times, like, our influences growing up is the guys that'll be like, yo, bro, I just got a load from Arizona. I'm finna drop something off to you.
Yeah.
Before you even done, you got the money. Yeah, I got the money for you. I ain't made my money. I'm on my way. I'm gonna drop this off to you.
Yeah.
And keep flooding you down that way. We really don't have friends that'll be like, bro, you know, if you get a credit score of this, you can have this. Or if you really want to be a boss and you really want to own something, you just got to do this. We never really had friends that showed us how to do other things.
Yeah.
We just had friends that'll keep us in holes. You understand what I'm saying? But when you told these kids to pick up something, did somebody tell you to pick up something, or is that from experience?
That's just from experience.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of great guys in jail. And some people don't find their gifts until they get behind the bars, and it's too late, because now you got to do what you're doing. You could have shared with the world. Now you got to share with inmates for the rest of your life, which don't mean it's in vain. But you could have did it at the level when your family was blessed. Instead of picking up the hammer,
Yes, sir.
you could have picked up a hammer.
Yes, sir.
You know, preachers in there. Instead of picking up a rifle, you could have picked up the Bible.
Come on, King.
So you got instruction workers, you got construction workers in there, you got ministers in there.
Yes, sir, you do.
Instead of picking up a needle, you know, so you could have picked up a needle. You could have been a doctor.
Yes, sir.
And it's a lot of people, man, that wish they can pick up other stuff that they picked up then.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Pick up a paintbrush. You never know.
Sir.
Pick up a camera.
Yes, sir.
Pick up a microphone. Pick up a keyboard.
Pick up something. I would love you for
let's
that.
pick something up. Yeah, put something in your hand. Cause you got empty hands, you got an empty mind.
You got an idle mind is the devil's playground.
You got nothing to do. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you think Butter the Preacher could have lasted? Do you think Butter the Preacher could have survived during Butter Gutter days? Because I'm not saying you're not the same person, but you definitely been reborn, King. So what I'm saying is, because this guy right here have made it through those times, or did you need those times to be who he is?
Those times was necessary, but it's some other time in that was just by grace. It was unnecessary, because I could have saved a lot of lives if I would have not ran for my calling when I first got it. It's a lot of lives, a lot of friends I would already influence to pick something up. A lot of people wouldn't have been exposed to some ways that I showed them.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people wouldn't have been introduced to some things I done sold them if I would have became the man God had called me to be when I first got my pull at 21. So you talking about that's the 4 or 5, you talking about a 5-year delay when I accepted my calling. That's 5 years of habit. Of
saving souls.
That's 5 years. And I've been in ministry now 5 years, going on 6. So now you look at it like that, I done reached millions of people. It's